Hi, in this video, you'll learn what's inside a computer and what each part actually does. Ever wonder what is inside of your computer or laptop? Inside any device is a whole city of parts, and those parts decide everything. How fast it runs, what it's able to do, like gaming or video editing, and how much it can store. So let's open it up and meet every single component. First up is the motherboard, the part that every other part plugs into. A motherboard is a circuit board with ports and sockets used to connect the main devices of a computer. Every computer, laptop, tablet, and smartphone has one. See those slots and sockets in the diagram? Each one is a parking spot for a component we're about to meet. So what does the motherboard actually do? Well, it's the foundation of the computer. Every part connects to it. It allows communication between components. If you have data flying in from one part to another, it travels through this board. And it distributes power to the components. One power cable comes in, and the board feeds everyone. But here's the thing. It connects everything, but it doesn't do the thinking. That's another part's job. Motherboards are not one size fits all. On the left is a desktop board. There are lots of sockets and slots built to expand and upgrade. If you want more memory or a better graphics card, you can do that. There's a slot waiting. On the right is a motherboard of a single board computer. This is an entire computer on one small board. That's what's inside phones, tablets, and hobby boards like the Raspberry Pi. Same idea, just a smaller package. Do you know what actually happens when you hit the power button on your device? Oh, you press it and then what? How does the machine with a blank brain know what to do first? Well, let's find out. Firmware is a startup software stored permanently on a small chip on the motherboard. Permanently is the key word. This chip never forgets, even with the power off. The second you press power, the firmware goes to work. It finds the drive that has the operating system. It sets processor and memory speeds. And then it also sets up ports for devices like a mouse or a keyboard. After that, it hands control over to the operating system, and its job is done until the next boot. You might have heard two different names for this chip. BIOS stands for Basic Input-Output System. This is the original PC firmware. It was designed in the 1980s. It had text-only menus, and it was a slower startup. UEFI stands for Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. This is the modern replacement used by pretty much every computer today. It has a faster startup, graphical menus, and it also has security features that block tampered startup code. Here's the funny thing. People still call any firmware the BIOS. So you'll want to know both names, but know that your computer almost certainly runs UEFI. All right, here's a challenge. Can you find the firmware chip on this board? It's one of the smallest chips on the board. It's pretty easy to miss. There it is, a tiny chip tucked near the edge of the board. And that little thing boots your entire computer. Now for the star of the show, the central processing unit, the CPU. This is the core component of a device that accepts and executes instructions. If the motherboard is the body connecting everything, the CPU is the brain, a small chip that sits in a socket on the motherboard. Every app, every game, every keystroke breaks down into billions of tiny instructions, and the CPU runs them all. Round 2. Can you find the CPU? Look for a large square socket. In a real computer, it might be hidden under a cooler, so you'd spot the fan before the chip. There it is, the biggest socket on the board, wired to everything else. Of course, the brain gets the best real estate. Next up is RAM, or Random Access Memory. This is a fast type of computer memory that temporarily stores the information your device needs right away. Think of it as short-term memory. And the keyword is temporarily. When you turn the machine off, the contents of RAM just disappear. They're gone. That's why you save your work to storage, which we'll talk about in just a minute. So why does more RAM matter? Well, everything running right now lives in RAM. Your browser is already there. If you open a game, that goes into RAM. Start a video call, RAM. Music in the background, also RAM. And when it fills up, we're out of RAM. When RAM runs out, the computer slows down because it has to shuffle data to slower storage instead. That's the lag you might feel if you have 50 tabs open in your browser. So RAM forgets everything it shut down. So where do your files actually live? Well, that's in storage, so let's talk about it. This right here is a solid-state drive. An SSD stores data on flash memory chips. These chips are fast, silent, and durable. Nearly every new computer and phone uses one. SSDs come in different sizes, and each size fits a different spot in the computer. Before SSDs took over, there was this, the hard drive. A hard drive stores data magnetically on rapidly spinning disks with a moving arm that reads and writes it. It literally spins thousands of times per minute while that arm zips back and forth grabbing your data. It's slower than an SSD, but it's pretty cheap for huge amounts of space. Hard drives are still used for backups, servers, and game libraries. All right, quick recap. So far, we've got the motherboard, which connects everything, firmware, which boots up the computer, CPU, or the brains that execute instructions, RAM, which is the short-term memory, and SSD, or a hard drive, which is the long-term storage. Well, that's a working computer right there, but we're not quite done yet. Time to finish the build. We need to add graphics, cooling, and we need to get online. The GPU, or Graphics Processing Unit, speeds up the creation of images and outputs them to a display, like a monitor. The CPU can draw images itself, but it's pretty slow at it. So the GPU is built for exactly that job. It can be built into the CPU or come on its own card with dedicated fans, powering games, video editing, and AI. All of these parts share one enemy, heat. Working components generate heat. Too much heat makes them slow down or even short circuit. So computers fight back in 3 ways. Heat sinks are metal fins that sit on a chip. These soak up its heat and spread it into the air. You can see them in the diagram, stacked between the chip and the fan. Fans blow hot air out of the case. That whirring sound from your laptop, that's this. There's also liquid cooling. This pumps coolant past the hottest parts for machines that run seriously hot. All right, one last piece, getting online. A network interface card, or NIC, is the hardware that connects a computer to a network. There are 2 options. It can be wired through an Ethernet port, built into almost every motherboard. You plug in a cable and you're connected. Or we can choose the wireless option, which uses a small Wi-Fi card or chip with antennas. No cable needed for this. Most computers today have both. Now for the fun part. Let's build a computer piece by piece. We start with the motherboard that has the firmware chip already on board. Right now, it's pure potential, empty sockets and slots waiting to be filled. First, let's install the CPU. It drops into its socket and the cooler goes right on top. The brain is in. Now it just needs somewhere to think. Next, we add the RAM sticks. They snap into their slots right next to the CPU. The short-term memory is online. Now storage. The SSD clicks straight into the board. It's a small part, but it's a huge job. It holds the operating system and every file you'll ever save. Next comes the GPU, which slides right into the long expansion slot. Now this machine can actually draw what's happening on a screen. The last piece is the networking. See the Wi-Fi signal? This computer can now talk to the world. And now we have a complete computer. Every component has a job, and the motherboard ties them all together. Firmware boots, the CPU thinks, RAM remembers what's happening right now, storage remembers forever. And while all that happens, the GPU draws, the fans cool, and the network card keeps you connected. So that's the inside of a computer. Now it's your turn to dive deeper and explore these components yourself.